Hello, everyone. My name is Aaron Stillman. I'm a real estate agent, currently with Coldwell Banker in Brentwood. Today, we're finishing up a buyer inspection at this beautiful co-op that we just sold in West Palms. And I got to tell you, we are happy to have sold this co-op. Co-ops are very tough to sell in general because the HOAs can be very strict as to the requirements for a new home buyer. You also have to pass an HOA board interview in order to buy the property, which can be much tougher than many people expect. So I'm going to be starting a series on real estate analytics, focusing on the greater Los Angeles area. And the problem that we can address with analytics include the following. First, what are the general trends in the real estate market? Is now a good time to buy? If I'm going to buy or sell, what should my strategy be? For example, on the buyer side, if I am going to be bidding on houses, I would like to know how much I can comfortably bid for a property and know that I'm still getting a good value. You're also going to see a lot of multiple offers in the current market. It's very competitive. It's definitely a seller's market. So when you enter a multiple offer scenario and you're asked to submit your best and final offer, you need to think carefully about just how much you want to offer, because it's not necessarily the best thing to get the house if you're paying way above fair market value for it. On the seller side, of course, the first step is to decide how much should I sell my house for. Generally speaking, the most advantageous approach is often to list the house at fair market value, attract a good number of buyers, and then have them bid against each other to raise the price. Also, in this market, you will see a number of buyers attempting to circumvent the bidding wars. So one tactic that they will employ is to submit an early bird offer before the offer deadline. And when the offer comes through, it will often be, say, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and they will say, this offer is only good until midnight. So they will intentionally only give you a few hours to decide whether you want to accept the offer or not. In this scenario, it's very important to know the fair market value of your house. So if you're happy with the offer and you believe it's fair value, you can just accept the offer and then go with it. But let's say if you did some real estate analytics and you believe that fair market value is much higher than what the offer is, then you can comfortably say no and then wait for the offer deadline and then look at which offers come in.
Okay, so let's get to some data. Here we see the pricing trend over the past year for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,500 square foot single-family home in Simi Valley, California. This is as of April 2022. We can see that the price was oscillating from about $650K to about $700K throughout most of 2021. In December of 2021, we suddenly shot up to $723K, went down slightly in January, and then continued on a steady upward trend until the current month of April, where we see an all-time high. The strength of the recent price increases may surprise some people who are expecting prices to perhaps drop somewhat due to the surging interest rates and limited inventory on the market, as well as the all-time highs in prices that we've seen. However, the increase in price appears to be unabated at least in Simi Valley, California. One of the key advantages of using my real estate analytics engine is that in addition to being able to observe top-level trends, we can also gain insight into the individual elements that contribute to the overall price of a property. For example, we can calculate the impact on the selling price for each additional day that the property sits on the market. In Simi Valley in April 2022, for each day that a house sits on the market, the sale price will be lowered by $2,167. For example, a house that sits on the market for 30 days will, on average, sell for $43,340 less than a house that sits on the market for only 10 days. We can also calculate the impact on the sales price due to each dollar of monthly HOA dues. For Simi Valley, the current data correlates to $178 in lowered sales price for each dollar of HOA dues. For example, a house with $130 in monthly HOA dues will, on average, sell for $23,140 less than a house with no HOA dues. As we have seen, real estate analytics can be a powerful tool to help you gain an advantage in your real estate transaction. Please feel free to reach out to me at any time. I look forward to working with you to give you an in-depth study of your particular property and to help you make the most out of your real estate transaction.